May, you said?
Yes.
May, June, and July, I was very sick. And in July, I was walking with a cane. I was really going downhill.
What are the specifics of your medical condition?
Well, by July, I guess I was going, like I say, really going downhill, and they did some tests trying to find out what was going on, and in July they finally decided that what I had is an infection called MAI, which is Mycobacterium avium intercellular, which is some kind of tuberculosis of the blood. And of course they have no treatment, nothing that they can really do about it. I did start taking 4 different medications for tuberculosis and one for that they give people with leprosy, because this was the closest thing they could think of for treatment. And I took those drugs about 3 months, and then started having an allergic reaction to those. And I was really sick the whole time. And it seemed like once I stopped taking those medicines, I felt a whole lot better. So I'm wondering how much of it was me that was being sick, or how much was having a reaction to these drugs. Yeah. But this is some kind of infection that will never go away, and there's no way they can control it, and it just has to run its course.
Is that a common complication of AIDS?
Yeah, they say on autopsies of AIDS patients, they see 60% of the patients have the MAI infection. You know, whether they have other infections that eventually kill them or not, but that is in their blood.
What about the primary treatment? What was it, AZT?
Right.
That you had?
I had to stop taking AZT shortly after our last videotape because I was becoming severely anemic, which is one of the normal side effects of. And I took it about 2 years, so I did very well. I went on it for a half a dose for about the first 6 months of this year, and even on the half a dose I was still very anemic, and I've had about 7, I think, blood transfusions already since then. So I'm not able to take AZT anymore. So the only medication that I'm taking right now is cyclovir for herpes.
Mm-hmm. Have you had any manifestations of herpes?
Yeah. I always thought I had hemorrhoids, you know, but this was like, I guess it was about 2 years ago that I finally approached my doctor and said, you know, I have these hemorrhoids, it's so bad, and it turned out to be herpes. So on top of everything else, I find out I've got that too, and I've never had symptoms before, but.
So is there some anal manifestation?
Yeah.
They're kind of lesions or
well,
sores?
Yeah, it's just kind of like swelling. That's why I thought I had hemorrhoids, you know, it's just, I just had like swelling around the opening. You know, and itchy and stuff.
Well, I won't be apologetic about the psychiatrist's ignorance of all the possible complications of this immune disease.
Well, I find out that even the doctors that are in the AIDS clinic and the specialists, they really don't know either, and they don't seem shy about saying that they don't know what's going on or how to do anything about it. Mm-hmm. They're just kind of, you know, they're learning as they go along too with this.
You know, that leads to another potential topic that I think is important. It's less related to your unique status as a transsexual than it is related to your status as functioning as a gay man. And what is it like? What impressions have you gained from your experience with physicians, as well as perhaps other AIDS victims who you might talk to? How does the gay community feel that it's been dealt with by the medical profession around the issue of their treatment from doctors?
Well, as far as I know, this is really the first disease that has been politicized, and I've always kind of wondered what they meant by that, but it does revolve around the whole homophobic, anti-gay society's attitude. It seems like when someone is diagnosed with AIDS, the problem is not that you're sick with the terminal disease, but the problem is now everybody knows you're gay. And that oftentimes becomes the topic of conversation, as opposed to the fact that you have a terminal illness. you know, the conversation is more, oh, I don't want to tell my parents that I'm dying of AIDS because they're going to know I'm gay then. I haven't had any problem with that. I think, I mean, with my family, they've seen me go through so many changes and so much, and have been so accepting of me and loving and supportive, and they know I'm not crazy. So by the time I you know, came through with AIDS, they already knew that I was gay, and it was.
So I guess that part of it depends on whether you've been open or still in the closet regarding your sexual preference.
Right, and it also makes a big difference where you are. I'm very happy to be in San Francisco. There is a ton of support groups and free services and information that you know, even people outside the AIDS or the gay community are so knowledgeable of what it is that I don't feel hesitant at all in telling people that I have AIDS. Whereas the few times that I've gone around other places, you know, flown back to Wisconsin to visit my mother there, she was kind of, oh well, don't tell anybody at the airport that you have AIDS, and you know, I don't tell people, you know, my next door neighbor that. So it's still, you know, that still is a problem. And a friend of mine in Milwaukee died last year. You know, I think it was in March. And the treatment in Wisconsin, they're just starting to get on to things like AZT and aerosol pentamidine, things that we've been doing for years in San Francisco. They're just starting to get them there. So I'm real glad I'm where I am.
Yeah.